I don't know why. I don't know how I could forget a number, because back then it was probably only 2 digits. Welcome to episode 77 of Hobby Evolution. Those are all still available if you want to see how this show has evolved. The first few episodes were like 15 minutes long. Now it's like I come in and I'm like, damn, I don't know how I'm going to talk for longer than 15 minutes, and I go for 90. So yeah, if you get really super bored and you like get to the end of the internet, go back and watch some of the early Hobby Evolution videos, because they are something else. I don't watch them, but I just looking back and seeing, and I didn't title. I had the same thumbnail show after show. The title was Hobby Evolution episode 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't really have a topic, kind of like today, talking baseball cards, because I don't have a topic. So yeah, it was fun. And actually I got the YouTube primer from my buddy, who like doesn't even do social media. But he's a financial advisor and hired a marketing company to do like his YouTube. He was scared to do YouTube. He like doesn't put himself out there, and he started to, and he's like, okay, you need to do a different thumbnail. He's like, that's a good thumbnail, but you can't use that over and over and over and over again. And then he's like, you have to have a good title. Like, people aren't going to come talk like today. Like, today's a really crappy title. I'm probably going to have less views today on this video, because talking baseball. Well, what the hell is he talking about? I don't care. He's just talking baseball cards. He's probably going to be talking about Doritos. I don't want to watch that video. And that's okay, because I'm not doing this to make millions and be a YouTube millionaire. That's for sure. So yeah, early days of Hobby Evolution. It's really evolved. We are in the house. What's up, Dan? Jenny, good morning from Watertown, USA. And she's not talking Watertown, Wisconsin. We had 5 inches of rain in 90 minutes. That's a lot. That's a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Jenny is flooded. I saw a picture. That's crazy. We have not received any rain, so I don't know if that's coming our way today, but I don't even think we got any rain last night. Because usually the weather like hits you and then it hits us. But we did not have any. We could use a little rain. Actually, no, we couldn't, because I need to mow before I head to Chicago this weekend. So hopefully it doesn't rain today, so I can mow this afternoon. Then it can rain like late tonight. Can rain late tonight, because we do need a little bit of rain. But not 5 inches in 90 minutes. We don't need that much rain. We could use a nice little, nice. David in the house. What is up, Victor? Good to you. Good day, Paige and Dina Bean. Or is it Deanie? Okay. I saw Zach and Porter shout out to Paige and Dina Bean. I've been saying Dina Bean. Is it Deanie Bean? Dina Bean, Paige and Dina Bean. Is 1 correct or 2 correct? Dina Bean, 1, or 2, Deanie Bean. Yes. Deanie Bean? Is it Deanie Bean? Deanie Bean. Deanie Bean? Terry, what up? Good morning. 2. Okay, Deanie Bean. Okay, I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time. Brian, good. Johnny Boy Cards, Cooter in the house. Victor says it's going to rain this weekend. Son of a, I hope not. Today. Oh, I moved when I get animated, my Wi-Fi goes. At least the higher percent is on the day that I would prefer. And then it's like, well, what the hell do I do in Chicago all day Saturday? Like I'm going to some, I say that like it's some small town. What the heck am I going to do in Chicago all day? There's probably some options. It's not like I'm going to Anawan. What are we going to do in Anawan today? Well, we can go to the grocery store, the IGA, or one of 2 bars. the gas station. There's 2 gas stations. That's about it. Let's see. Terry says we had thunderstorms here in the Twin Cities last night. Good morning, Hobby World. What is up, Herman? By the way, check out Sports Card Insights with Dr. Jim Beckett. Herman was on. I assume that's going to be a multi-part series because Dr. Beckett breaks them down into 15-minute podcasts. So that was good. That was, and I kind of know Herman's origin story. So yesterday was the origin story of Herman 3B collection. But I kind of got like, I knew it was cool because Herman like went into detail on his origin story, where I knew bits and pieces. Like I knew Herman had like a shop when he was young, and I knew kind of the behind, but I didn't know like some of the other in between details. So it was kind of cool. It was really cool. So that was fun. So check out Sports Card Insights. Dr. Beckett, Herman is on. And I assume, Herman, this is going to be, there's going to be at least a couple episodes, I would venture to guess. Dollar Box, Adam in the house. What is up? I need to watch I saw your Stevens Point video pop up. So that's on my to watch list. Oh, speaking of to watch list, I had 2 or 3 people send me a video yesterday. I think Herman was one of them. Jenny was, Dan sent it to me about the standard envelopes. Somebody had said their post office had stopped accepting the standard envelopes through eBay, from eBay, the eBay standard envelopes. Now I know that there's Jenny herself has had some issues with them. I had issues early on because my post office, where I have my PO box, is super strict. And I don't know, it must have been at the beginning, but I dropped some PWEs off, and it might not even have been standard envelopes, but it might have just been stamped envelopes. And I dropped off a bunch. They all showed back up in my PO box for they were fortunately they didn't like stamp each one of them. They just like put a rubber band around it with a note that says, hey, you need to put a non-machinable stamp on it. You know what I did? Well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put a non-machinable stamp on them. I took off the note and threw it away. I took off the rubber band, and then I promptly put the envelopes in my mailbox at the end of my driveway. My awesome postman picked them up, put them in his post office truck, drove them away, and they were delivered successfully. So poop on you, my local post office. I won't name which one it is. There's only a couple options if you know where I live. So they also gave me grief over the small labels. Somebody replied to one of my videos stating why, which I understand. The reply in the video was actually very helpful. The lady at the post office, however, was not helpful. So I think my biggest beef was with how it was explained to me how it was not explained to me at the post office when the person on YouTube just sent a few sentences explaining the whole reason why. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. I wish I was told that. And here we are. It's been more than 6 months later. And just assumed that they were just being not whatever. So yeah, so my post office is super strict. So, and I know other people have had issues. I know that some are regionalities. I think somebody was saying they had troubles with Michigan. Every once in a while I'll get, oh, you don't have enough postage on this. That happens. And again, like every postal employee interprets the rules differently. So, it could have just got in the hands of the wrong person that day. I haven't watched the video, so I need to watch the video for context because all I've seen is the title and like a brief description. So I don't know what the video is actually saying. So my first guess, my first, like, I would just say, not knowing the whole story, would just be like, well, take them, drop them off in the blue box outside. That's what I do. And my post office, like, returned all of them for posted or for, non-machinable. And guess what I did? That day I put them in my mailbox at my house, but then moving forward, I just drop them off in the blue box outside of the same damn post office that put them back and said you need non-machinable stamps. Maybe because they don't check them until the end of the day, and maybe if it's a slow day at the post office, somebody's like, "Oh nope, we're gonna get 20 more cents out of this guy." Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. So Jenny's an hour north of the Twin Cities. It was bad. Herman says, I still feel like I gave the Cliff Notes version. DR says, just imagine the value in internet service provider would get if they successfully gave Bo strong internet. And here I am, stubborn as all hell. I could go upstairs and do it. I could go out in my room, but then I would have to move. Here's the issue I have. Upstairs, my computer's like, actually both of my computers kind of suck. The one upstairs is older and suckier. And I would have to bring like my webcam up, which I guess is okay. I don't know, but it's like a comfort, even though the internet connection sucks down here. It's like, it's my comfort zone. If I'm up there, it's like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands. And if I moved it out into my rec room, which I've done, then I've got to take my whole computer out. I've got to take my camera out. Then I've got to bring it back in. I think the internet connection down here, it's just going to be like, it's just going to be crappy until I move, which we're meeting with our builder tomorrow. So we had another meeting with the designers last week for like layout. We got the whatever revision, third, fourth, fifth revision of the plans. Still some tweaks to be made. What I'm running into in the basement is where the rec room will be. It's kind of an odd, the basement layout's kind of odd. So my rec room might have to be like feet in width, but it's going to be like 25 feet in length, which is not ideal, but it's just the setup of that area where the rec room will be. Because you can't put bedrooms there, because this is where the walkout is to the backyard. And then our initial plan was there's like posts. Is Mark Hoyle in here? He can explain what the posts are. They're like, what do you call those posts? Like in the middle of the house. They're like, I don't know. There's a name for them, but you can't take them out or the house will fall down or something. I don't know. So there's like 3 poles that have to be there. So we had initially decided to build a workout room where those posts, so basically the posts would be part of the wall, and hide them away, and that would be the workout room. And then you could at least see out into the rec room and the backyard from the workout room, so you're not like just in the back corner of a basement. But now my wife was looking at the plans and she's like, I don't know if it's only 9.5 feet for that rec room. Maybe put the workout room in the back. So we've got to talk more on that. And then we're meeting with the builder to lay out timelines. So I'm excited. New massive card room for me, even though I'm moving bulk, because I don't want to move it to the new house, because don't want to move. I can move it 200,000 cards at a time. But I sold another truckload yesterday. So I did deliver it. I charged a delivery fee, and it was nice to get out on the road. Now, I don't like to deliver these things. Like, I did deliver one of the recent ones to the Dells, Wisconsin Dells. This one up to Appleton, Wisconsin, home of the who's up there? I think that's actually, is that in Dollar Box's territory? Home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. So I was in Appleton doing the drop off. I've got another guy who he dragged his feet on this one, and I'm like, well, the last one sold. Now this one sold, and I'm like, he's like, I'll be around on Friday night. And I'm like, well, this one just sold. I just sold this one. Because I'm not holding. If I can move these, I'm moving them. There's no holds. I'm like, I've got more cards. I can put another batch together, but it's gonna take a week, and I'll be out of town this weekend. So now I'm just gonna make another batch and I mean, get rid of commons, easy money. It's like I said yesterday, the bulk commons, I'm just moving them quick. And people are like, well, how do you do it? And it's like, well, I sell them for like a tenth of a penny, or a fifth of a penny. And they move fast. But a lot of us and myself, as I go through like the card closet next to me and I'm digging through, some of it's like, I don't want to just bulk this out. But yet it's been sitting in my closet for 5 years, and it may make the move and sit for another 5 years. But it has been fun. Like I mentioned yesterday, that was the topic yesterday. The going through I mean, it's been just as fun. No, it's a little less fun than buying in bulk. But it has been fun. It's a little therapeutic to go through these boxes and some of this stuff I haven't touched since probably last summer, like the height of the pandemic, when everything was selling, and it's like, ooh, what else do I have in here? And hey, there may be some like Bowman from 2 years ago that it's like, well, it's not selling now, so I'll just put it away and come across. I haven't really come across much modern stuff in the section that I'm digging through. But there's still like, I think most of the truckload that I sent up yesterday, most of it came out of that closet, and you open the door. Herman's seen the door. Herman's opened the door to the closet, and it doesn't even look like anything's been taken out. And yet probably 100 to 150,000 cards have been pulled out of that closet, and it doesn't even look like it's been touched. Which is that was the photo in yesterday's thumbnail. So that was fun. I was able to dump off a whole bunch of cards and have some more. Like some of the things I've come across just digging through this closet, I pulled out a monster box, and it was all 79, 80, and 81 Topps baseball. And it's like, hey, this has value. I'm not gonna bulk it out. I can, once I get my Card Dealer Pro and streamlined, that'll be like a down the road. It's not like I'm going to spend time now on some of the commons, because I still have thousands and thousands and thousands of star cards and stuff that I can move quicker than what commons will move for. So but just to have it on hand, and it comes in handy, like when actually that might have been Herman, that might have been the box we dug through before we went to the airport when you were here, to finish off. I think it was try to finish off was it 1980 Topps? So I think that was now that I think of it, I think that was the box we were digging through when you were here. Mark Wilkins, what is up? Good morning. Jenny says, I need to watch. Oh, where am I at? I skipped ahead. Jenny says, I need to watch that one still, but I'm going to guess it's someone putting top loaders wrapped in cardboard that is trying to mail standard envelope. Too many people think it's about weight only. Yeah, that could be. My first thought process was like a new employee at the post office, and it's a one-time thing. That's just my hunch, but I don't know the context behind it. Ed, good morning to you. Herman says, I followed the guy's thread, and it seems like one lady at the post office has a personal vendetta against him. She told him she would reject anything with his name on it. Interesting. That sounds like a complaint form should be filed. Jenny says, I'll never defend someone having issues because I have no clue how they really are shipping. They can say one card, but if it's a card, penny sleeve, top loader, team bag, cardboard, both sides. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you can send, and it's all up to, well, I'm only sending one card in a white envelope, but if it's one card in a penny sleeve and a top loader with a piece of cardboard on both sides, and the envelope looks like this, it's going to get rejected, sent back, or sent. Or worst case scenario is it actually gets sent to the buyer, and they have to pay extra postage. That's a really crappy thing. When I started the 1 Million Cubs projects, a lot of my early trades, I would get postage due. A lot of people just didn't know how to ship cards. And I would get postage due, and it's like, sending a bubble mailer with a stamp. It's like, come on. So then I just started rejecting. It's like, just return to sender. If there's postage due, just return to sender. Sometimes it was like my post office being anal, but in a lot of cases it was somebody trying to send 50 cards in a bubble mailer with a 55-cent stamp on it. Let's see. Victor says, where can I find Herman's podcast? It is, I think if you search sports card, actually make it easier, and Herman may have done it already. There it is. Herman's got the link in the chat. There it is. And yeah, so Herman provided the link in the chat. It's Sports Card Insights is the name of the podcast. I think you can find it on your standard I always listen to it on YouTube. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast platform. I think it's on all of them. And then YouTube as well. Dollarbox says, I ship sleeve top load masking tape on top team bag. Cardboard isn't really necessary for a low-end card. Not at all. In fact, I stopped, and I have a video that still gets a lot of hits on how to ship PWE, and I don't even use that method anymore. In fact, I don't even do top loaders anymore. I use card savers because I still ship top loaders every once. I have a big tub behind below me, a big storage tub full of top loaders from like collections. When I get random stuff, I just throw a top loader in here. So what I ran into, and Jenny know about this, people will leave like neutral feedback or even negative feedback for getting a card saver and not a top loader. And that actually hasn't happened much. That happened. That hasn't happened the last several months. I haven't had any of those gripes. When that was happening, when people were leaving negative and neutral feedback over card savers as opposed to top loaders, was during the top loader shortage. People were buying low dollar cards so they could get a top loader. So they were getting their dollar card plus, at that time, God, some people were charging like 20 cents for used top loaders. I don't think I ever paid more than, I think at the very height, I think I ended up having to pay like 10 or 11 cents per top loader, which is like for used top loaders. That's insane. Right before the pandemic, I had put an order for a case of top loaders right before the pandemic. And I think I paid 5.5 cents per top loader for a case. And that was like February of 2020. And then they went up, like the cheapest you could find them was like 20 cents. My card savers I get through BCW, I think these are like 6 cents, brand new. And I can sell them at card shows, and I sell them by the box. My margins are pretty. I sell them by the 200 count box for $20. So what's my I don't even know. Actually pretty good margin. I sell them for $20 with that's fair. 6 cents times 200 is $12. So I'm making a decent profit. So yeah, I do not use cardboard at all. The only time I use cardboard is in bubble mailers. Like if I'm using a team bag, I'll put the cards in penny sleeves and then put them in a team bag and then sandwich it with cardboard, like the boxes of the card savers. Or if it's like a higher dollar card, like a $50 to $100 card, then I'll put it in a top loader card saver in a team bag with cardboard around it. Then I'll put it in like a used, hide the return address, like a used bubble mailer, and then put that in a new bubble mailer. Let's see. Jenny posted that Herman podcast to Twitter. There's the link. Let's see. Support posts. There you go. Beams, support posts. Brian says, I had to explain to the post office it was an eBay thing. They were bending it, saying it won't go through. I said, eBay said it's okay, so let's try it. Haven't had any problems since. The worst weight bearing. That's what I was looking for. Weight bearing. Thank you. So back to Brian's comment. I think most of the issues with shipping PWE is when you actually talk to somebody at the post office. That's like the root of all problems, is when you actually talk to a clerk and trying to explain eBay standard envelope. And that's like, because then what sucks is if you get like somebody that doesn't buy cards on eBay often. And so maybe their standard envelope is delayed and they go to the post office and they're like, so I've got this package. It shows delivered, but I didn't get it. Here's the tracking number. And then the clerk's like, well, this isn't a real tracking number. And then the buyer goes home and sends a nasty email to the seller and says, this is a fake tracking number. Are you trying to rip me off for $1.50? So that's like the root of all problems at the post office. So yeah. And then, so that's why I say, just don't even talk to the clerks. Just drop them off. Most of the clerks are really super nice. But that's where many of the problems occur. So just drop them off in the blue box. Good to go. Most of the time. Ed says, lolly column. Where are we at? There's Mark Hoyle. Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean says, Cracker Jack card issued a challenge that's due today. Ultimate Hall of Fame lineup. It was really fun. Interesting. Is Cracker Jack card a YouTube channel? Ultimate Hall of Fame lineup. Is there a link to that? You've got a link. Let me know. Dollarbox says, just got 1,200 used top loads on eBay for $80. Dollar North of. So what's the breakdown on 1,280 divided by 1,200? Oh, that's a good deal. 7 cents. That's a good deal. Golden Slumber, good morning. Welcome to the chat. New viewer from Toronto after watching your Bench Clear interview with Mike Moynihan. Awesome. Welcome to the show. Thank you for stopping in the chat. I appreciate that. Herman says, yes, that was the set. TD Sports Cards, good morning. Terry says, do you bulk out all your comments to try to save any for eBay? I try to keep at least one of any player. That's a great question. So when I bulk out, it's typically commons, but sometimes I'm like, I have like 10 or 12 boxes of 90 score, like with the Frank Thomas pulled and the Bo Jackson shoulder pads card pulled. I bought them in bulk from a local Craigslist ad here. Shout out to Steve. And he had like 10 or 12, and he's like, I pulled all the Franks and all the Bows. And so I go through, and it's like, I've seen enough 90 score Ken Griffey Jr.'s, 90 score, all the Cubs are pulled, but all the stars are still in there. And it's like, okay, I've got 8 more of these boxes. I'll just let somebody else have the Ken Griffey Jr. and the Bo Jackson and, everything else. Cause I'm tired. I've got like 12 of them. And I don't want to sort through another 90 set. But when it comes across, like I mentioned, the 79, 80, 81 Topps box, that I'm going to leave aside just because it's a little more uncommon. And I think I could throw, some of those on eBay and they'll move. I can throw some in quarter boxes. I think I'll get good value out of that. But if it's a bunch of 88 Donruss, 87 Topps, even though 87 Topps does sell, I bulk it out, so it's kind of, it's hit or miss what I decide to bulk out, what I don't. The last bulk, not this one yesterday, but a couple of weeks ago, the one that I bulked out, I had a huge box, probably 5,000 modern football cards. And there were like on the top, there was like Russell Wilson and, there were probably some Mahomes in there because I'd gone through and cherry picked a lot out. But again, it's like, okay, I've got 20 Patrick Mahomes 2021 Donruss cards. Um, I don't need 24. So there might be 4 Mahomes and 4 Russell Wilsons. So it all depends. It's just kind of, sometimes I'm cherry picking. It depends on the box that I pull. If there's not much in it, I'll pull like commons. And it's like, oh, I'm going to try putting this on eBay. But if it's like the same stuff and it's like, okay, I've seen 20 Patrick Mahomes 2021 Donruss cards. I don't care if there's any more here. They're all going in bulk. So some bulk lots are going to be better than others, just depending on what I pull. And there's no rhyme or reason. I just start pulling boxes. And sometimes if I see like 91, 92 Upper Deck Hockey, it's like, oh, that's going in the bulk pile. Actually, I did find, I think it was 91, 92 Upper Deck Hockey. And I think it's the complete set. So I set that aside. I didn't bulk it out. I set it aside. I think Cody mentioned in the chat the other day, he's might be interested in hockey. I've got some hockey guys at the Rockford show that always come around looking for hockey cards in my bargain boxes. When I set up at the Janesville show, 4th of July weekend, I actually had a few people look through my hockey box. And I'm like, I guess I was surprised because it was the first time I ever had a hockey box. And nobody has hockey around here. Like the guys in Rockford, they came to my Madison show and they're like, yeah, we only spent like 30 minutes there. Nobody had hockey. There's 125 tables and like 2 guys cards. So maybe that's a sign that, hey, if I have hockey, people will, come to my table. So I'll break out. And I forgot to, I found 3 boxes, 3/4 boxes in my, my overflow area. And I think that's where one of the hockey boxes was. So I'll just have to make sure to get those pulled out for the next show I do, whether it's in Madison on August 27th or the next Janesville show on September 4th. Madison Card Show, Saturday, August 27th. So we're 9 days away, 125 tables, free admission. Show runs 9 to 3. Going to be a lot of fun. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, Saturday, August 27th. Then I'm still TBA if I'm going to set up at that show. We'll see. I will be set up in Janesville on September 4th. That's a Sunday, the day before Labor Day. I will be set up in Janesville with my quarter boxes, and the following weekend in Rockford, September 10th, Saturday, September 10th. And then coming in October, a big show, really big shoe. October 15th and 16th. Who is that? Ed McMahon? No. This is before my time. Really big shoe. Ed Sullivan, right? Ed Sullivan. Where's Uncle Rich at? He's probably pulling his hair out. Ed Sullivan. October 15th and 16th. Really big show. Rockford, Illinois. 250 tables, 2-day show. October 15th and 16th. That's a Saturday, Sunday. Rockford, Illinois. The Midwest premiere. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Terry adds, I've had 2 ESE returned that were below max thickness but had cardboard in them. Let's see. No postal returns or customer complaints yet. Let's see. I do ship all cards in top loaders. Yeah, and I don't think I've really had like the top loads. The top loader versus card saver, it's kind of minimal. Like, it's fine. Like, and again, I'll send top loaders if somebody requests that they want a top loader. Now that I have this, back in the day when there was a top loader shortage, I didn't have any top loaders, so they all went card savers because that was what was available through BCW without a 1-year wait. But now I have excess top loaders. So I'll just dig a top. If somebody requests a top loader, if you want a top loader, you get a top loader. You get a top loader. You get a top loader. So I've had minimal issues. They're a little more rigid than a card saver. That's really the only issue. So I was team top loader for so long. I hated card savers. And then I went to card savers out of out of a need for some type of protection because we couldn't find top loaders, and when we could, they were 20 cents a piece. So I went to Card Savers, and no issues. Or I shouldn't say, I've never had no issues. Very, very minimal issues. Good morning, Mark Hoyle. What is up? Dollar Box says my how to ship gets lots of hits. It's that's what I was telling my friend who's financial planner. I'm like, just do videos on like what you think is second nature. Like, if we're shipping a lot, I just assumed everybody knew how to ship like just the generic broad view of shipping baseball, how to ship safely. Like that just seems second nature probably to all of us here. But in reality, many people don't know how to ship safely, or they're scared of shipping in, maybe not scared, but hesitant to ship in a white envelope. Well, if it gets damaged in the mail, and yeah, it happens. In reality, I've had more bubble damaged in the mail than I have PWE. And I ship way, way, way more PWE than bubble mailer. So it's just once you do it, I think it's fear of the unknown. I fear the unknown with Card Savers, and no issues, minimal issues. Shouldn't say no, minimal issues. Let's see. Jenny says, I never ship top loader in PWE because I've seen the machines work firsthand. As a former USPS employee, the sudden thickness change will cause more damage than using Card Savers. And I've showed this off before, since we're on topic. So here's a Card Saver. Here's an envelope. So, and I don't know how to, but it's very, very thin. And there's a little flexibility. And you're like, oh my God, you're going to bend the card. But a little bit of this is not going to hurt the card. It's not going to crease the card. If you go like that, that's going to crease the card. There's no card in there. That's going to crease the card. But like what Jenny's mentioning, get a top loader down here. So there's just a little bit of thickness. That's a little thicker. We'll use the standard. Here's a standard top loader. Say standard. Oh, you can't really tell. So just a little. It's a little thicker. It's probably 2 Card Savers thick. So you see, look at that. So it can go in the machine if it just catches it just at the right angle. And this is just it's like Jenny said, it's that sudden thickness change where, let's go back to the Card Saver. You're not really going to have that, it's not as thick, just a little bit, it's a little thickness change. But the top loader is a little thicker, and obviously if you do multiple Card Savers, you have that. That could happen as well. Brian says, excited to start scanning. SV600 scanner arrives today. Oh man, isn't that fun? That is fun. The anticipation of a new scanner or new equipment that makes your process faster. Oh, I can't wait to like fully engage into Card Dealer Pro. I mentioned that in the description. One of my goals is to list 1,000 cards in a day, and I just want to see how long it takes. So what about Card Dealer Pro this week? I have not. I'm gonna do the 10,000 scans per month for $100. I'm just gonna wait until I can actually devote time, because I will really hammer out, and I want to see what I can do it in a day, or how long will 1,000 take. And I mentioned earlier this week I did 100 cards in 14 minutes, when in reality, using File Exchange, I can do about 125 cards in 1 hour. Here's the caveat. When using File Exchange and in listing 125 cards in 1 hour, I am working that entire hour. Like that's like me typing, me scanning, dropping in the image shack, copying and pasting, making sure they're in the right order, typing, doing it again, typing for an hour straight. With Card Dealer Pro, I can do and I will say the 14 minutes, I didn't really thoroughly check. That was just boom, boom, boom. I didn't thoroughly check. But in those 14 minutes, probably 6 minutes was working time. So it basically took me 6 minutes of work to list 100 cards. And you say, well, I thought it took 14 minutes. What happened to the other 8? The other 8 minutes, the AI is working in the background. So I do all my scanning, scan 100 cards, drop them into a file folder, bring them over, upload them into Card Dealer Pro. All of a sudden it starts processing. I have the next 6 to 8 minutes to myself. I can start scanning the next 100. I can go dig through another box and pull out the next 100. I can go feed the dog. I can come downstairs and ship and hammer out 7 or 8 shipments in that 8 minutes. Go upstairs, boom, they're done. Now I export it to a spreadsheet, and then I have to check it just to make sure they're, it doesn't say it's a rainbow foil when it's not a rainbow foil. It doesn't say PSA at the end, which is kind of a weird quirk. And it's not pulling over like team name. It's not pulling in baseball card. So I have to add that. So I am doing some typing, on those 100 listings, Blue Jays baseball card, Astros baseball card, rookie card, whatever. So it's taking me a little longer than 14 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 6 minutes to do that typing. So 20 minutes, but really 6 to 8 minutes of that. Well, actually out of the 10 minutes of work of typing and actually doing stuff, where the other 10 minutes is just downtime where I can multitask. So that's what I love about it. Dollarbox says, I've never had a card not delivered or negative feedback, so I use top loads. Also, I don't use top loader for my own cards, just card savers, so I keep those for me. I've had a lot of, and when I say a lot, so I'm moving roughly 85 shipments a day. So I've got like 12 negative feedback in the last year, but I've got like 11,000 in that same positives in that same time. So it's all a numbers game. So last 12 months, actually, it's only 6 negative feedbacks. Last 12 months, 6 negatives, 11,118 positives, 9 neutrals. And most of those neutrals were false neutrals. And what I mean by false neutrals was the most recent was somebody, and they don't know how to change it. I need to go talk to eBay or something to get it adjusted. Because the neutral feedback says, nice item as described, very good communication and quick shipping, excellent seller, strongly recommend, thank you. But it's a neutral. So I reached out and I'm like, hey, did you mean to give me a neutral feedback? And they apologized and they said, no, it's supposed to be a positive. I don't know how to change it. And I sent a request to change and they still couldn't figure it out. So I can probably get that changed. I just need to make the time for it. Let's see. Terry says, I bought a Goodwill auction of thousands of Beanie Baby cards for almost nothing. I bought them because every card was in a top loader. The cards went back to Goodwill. That's, I shared this story around the national time 2 years ago at the national, last year at the national, 2021. We were in the top loader shortage. And I think ComC was paying like 10 cents per used top loader. There was a bargain box in the back corner, and I went there on Saturday. It was a quarter box, and all of the cards were top loaded. And like as I'm going through, I'm like, man, this is easy money. I can use these top loaders. So I had a stack, and I'm like, I can't believe your quarter cards are in top loaders. He's like, yeah, I just didn't have time to take them out. And he's like, I can sell the top loaders to ComC for 10 cents. And so I said, and that same dealer was set up in the same location in 2019, was, had a like fire sale on Sunday, was selling in bulk on Sunday. And I'm like, are you selling in bulk this year? And he's like, no. He's like, we'll see what Sunday brings. So they were 25-cent cards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the National. Sunday, the same quarter boxes, 50 3 for $1. He raised the prices on Sunday, probably because he knew he could get 10 cents per top loader. And that's what ComC was paying. And I think it was what ComC was paying. Peons like me were paying 15. Actually, I don't think I ever paid that much, but I think the highest I paid was like 11 cents because I was able to buy enough bulk to keep me moving. And by this point last year, I don't think I was moving as much. I think I was down in like the 40s per day. At the peak, like back February, March, I was around 75 sales per day. But then I think by the time I went full time, I wrote it down somewhere about 33, I think, sales per day. Now I'm up to around 80, 85, somewhere in there. Let's see. Dollar Box says I pay about 6 cents for top loaders used. I also reuse all the ones I get in shipments. Same here. And I love when I buy bulk and there's top loaders or card savers, whatever. It's like, oh, just free supplies. My Walmart hopping skills came in handy this morning. The food bank was out of lunch meat, and I needed 1,200 slices of bologna for the soup kitchen tomorrow. Hit all the morning restocks. Hey, how about that? Love it. Love it. I did stop at one Walmart on my drive yesterday, Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Stopped in Beaver Dam. The Walmart in Beaver Dam did not get my money. The gas station did because I needed to get gas up, which was a little cheaper in Beaver Dam than the further north I got. They did not have, their cards, a big card section in Beaver Dam, but a lot of empty shelves. They had some Bowman U, but it was basketball, and I'm not high on Bowman U. I think Bowman U basketball sucks. That's my honest opinion on Bowman U basketball. I think Bowman U basketball sucks. But Bowman U football, what you see behind me, I love it. We opened a box live yesterday, and we're 9 days away. Same college football season kicks off the same day as the Madison Card Show, Saturday, August 27th. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Can't wait. And then after the show, I'm going to come home. I might rip 10 or 12 blasters. We go live and watch some cupcake game. Some top 25 team take on a cupcake. I looked at this. I've looked at it a couple times. It's so not memorable the first day of college football that I've looked at the schedule like 5 times and I can't remember who actually plays on that Saturday. Where are we at in the chat? I think I'm missing a lot. Let's see. Dollar Box says, I personally feel semi-rigids aren't sturdy enough for shipping. Let's see. By semi-rigids, do you mean card savers? Yeah, semi-rigids and card. I think card savers is a term used by one of the supply companies. I can't remember which one, Ultra Pro or BCW. I think that's like a copyrighted name. I've done thousands upon thousands. So, I mean, card savers / semi-rigid. So that's about 20,000 transactions. And I think I've only had one person complain that there was like damaged, and they showed me a picture where basically the same thing happened with a top loader. And I think it was in a semi-rigid. So 1 out of 20,000, not bad. Brian says, yep, used to drop with a human, but then they scrutinize everything. Now I scan at the machine and blue box drop. I'm all about the blue box drop. Cooter says the USPS regs say it must be able to go around an 11-inch diameter curve with 40 pounds of pressure on the belt. Let's see. There's the link by Paige and Deanie Bean. Good morning to Paul Carl Cards. There's the link above. Yes, he does have a channel. Oh, very nice. Let's see. There's the link. I'm going to open link in a new tab. And that's weird. Sometimes YouTube, it happened when Dan had tried to post something. What if I copy the link address and open it? It's still, that link's just not working for me. But I'll try to find it. Let's see. Cooter says, I wish Greg Morris Cards would find a new inventory label. You need a jackhammer to get those labels off their card savers in order to reuse. There's Mark Drop. Ed Sullivan, really big shoe. Thank you. Boyhood Breaks, what is up? Longtime watcher, first time jumping into the chat. Well, I'm glad that you jumped in. Thank you very much. I saw earlier talking about eBay standard rate envelope now being denied. That is me. Okay, so I haven't watched your video yet. So I don't know the context behind it. So my initial reaction, not knowing the background behind what's going on, would be a rogue employee is just denying them because like every clerk at the post office has interprets the rules a different way. So that's my thought process. And I've ran into similar issues with PWE at my local post office. So it took one time, and I don't know if you were listening at the very beginning, but I had like a stack, like 20 of them. And they put a note that said each one needs a non-machinable stamp or something, and put a rubber band around it, put it back in my mailbox. So in my P.O. box. So I took them home. I took the note off, threw it away, took the rubber band off, and put the envelopes in my mailbox at the end of my driveway. My postman took them, and they all got delivered successfully with no, postage due or anything like that. Now I take my PWEs and I put them in the blue box outside of the post office that, gave me grief. Not grief, just said, hey, you need non-machinable on these. And I put them in the blue box outside the post office, and they get through, fine. Knock on wood. Hopefully I don't run into, a new employee that, says, to hell with you and your PWE shipping. Golden Slumber says, right on Cooter, I have spent lots of time in lighter fluid getting those damn stickers off the Greg Morris card savers. Brian says, most top loaders I get in mail look like they've been through all of your hands, cracked, scratched, and taped over and over. LOL, Lil blue, Lil brown, some clear. Amazing. There are some, and I can pull out, just this stack. In fact, actually, these are all pretty good. But yeah, you'll get some that are like yellow from like probably cigarette smoke or something. And yeah, there's some nasty used top loaders out there. Matt, who is a vendor at my Madison show, he was set up next to me in Rockford on Saturday, and he pulled out a top loader. I don't know from where he got it, but it was just a golden yellow. Boyhood breaks. Okay, so here it is. I ship card in penny sleeve, card saver 2, sealed with a small piece of blue tape, then into the envelope. That's it. Had no problems for 8 months. Then boom, all denied. And I'm wondering, was this all go down in like one day, or is it a continuing problem? Because my thought process would be take them somewhere else, whether it's another post office, if that's even an option, might not be wherever you're at, or just drop them off in a blue box or in some mail receptacle somewhere, and that should save you the headache. Golden Slumber said, card savers and top loaders aside, I can't believe the price of card storage boxes. Yeah, now we're seeing card storage boxes, and we're getting decent prices on card savers and top loaders now, but the storage boxes are crazy. Without many LCS close by, I get mine on Amazon, but prices are still ridiculous for cardboard. Yeah, it's cardboard. I mean, most of it's the shipping. It costs so much to ship because it's heavy. But yeah, like fortunately, I may, with my BCW account, I can get it a little cheaper, and I'll have people like, hey, can you get me this, whatever? And I'm like, well, I've got to put in, because you have to spend, I think, $1,000. I think it's $1,000 to get free shipping through BCW. And when I order my card savers, like I'm ordering $1,000 worth, but it takes some time to go through those. It's like, well, when I put another order in, and then it's like, then I got to ship it to you, and shipping is going to be expensive. So it's basically, you're better off either buying them yourself, or if you have even driving, if you have to drive 2 or 3 hours, it's probably cheaper now that gas is coming down. It's probably cheaper to drive up to 3 hours to a card shop and buy storage boxes than what it is to actually have them, buy them retail and shipped. Let's see. Paul says if you do a full baseball set of 1,000 cards, you should be able to have them all listed and scanned in 2 hours. Chrono Card does automatically add the team name to the listing title. You can also customize other fields and arrange the order. And I do know Card Dealer Pro is adding that in. They said it's probably going to be a couple weeks. So I can do it. I'm fully on board with Card Dealer Pro. Chrono Card, it's not that I had a bad experience with Chronazio. It's just it seemed very clunky when I used it, and it's just not. I was able to navigate Card Dealer Pro in no time, and I mean within 24 hours, I felt that I was very efficient with it. Where Chrono Card, I played around with it for several days, and it's just like I just don't know if this is. And maybe I just didn't give it enough chance, but I'm big on Card Dealer Pro. Paige and Deanie Bean says top loader shortage. Boy, oh boy, if that does scream a real life documentary movie. Fortunately, we're past that. We're past the top loader shortage. Let's see. Paul says I did reach out to Card Dealer Pro again after your last video, and they're working on a Shopify template to emulate ComC, so we could potentially use them to create our own websites similar to ComC. Whoa. That is a whoa. That would be interesting. Let's see where we at. That's what I want to use them for, and I'm that makes me curious because they're working on their own platform. So it seems like that type of platform would kind of you'd create their own competition where I think that's one of my concerns is the potential if they create their own platform, but I'm like eBay, like I'm eBay and I don't want to try a new platform. So my concern would be them, okay, this is a conflict of interest. We don't want you uploading to eBay anymore. So we're going to take the spreadsheet and so that's my concern. And I mean, it's basically, I'm only using them for the AI. So I could essentially, I guess they could put blocks on, you can't, because I'm not techie. So it's easier to just click a button that exports it automatically for me. If I had to do it myself, it would be more difficult. Dollarbox says, to be fair, there was also a huge semi-rigid shortage, which was increased due to the grading boom. Yes, absolutely. ATX Treasure Chest, good morning to you. Good morning, Andrew. Dollarbox is looking into Chrono Card right now. Let's see. Can we chat on Twitter to Paul or Insta about a CDP a bit before I commit to using them? I use semi-rigid to ship myself. Hundreds a month, no problem. Let's see. Cardboard Gold are card savers. Cardboard Gold. I use Cardboard Gold. I was buying their top loaders in Penny. A lot of people have asked me, is Cardboard Gold legit? Absolutely. But again, I'm not using them to, most of mine are just protection and shipping. It's not like they're going into a fancy personal collection. But I don't really see it's kind of like we're picking out colors for siding for the new house and all this. And it's my mother-in-law was over yesterday. And so my wife and I on Wednesday night, what was last night? What day is it? Is it Thursday? It's Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday night we were outside, with the decking. Okay, what color decking do we want? I'm like, okay, I like this. I inside the house where it's not outside. Astounding how that works. I liked one, but when you put it outside, it had a real bluish tint, hue, whatever to it. And so I liked the other one. And so my mother-in-law goes, okay, how about these two? The siding. And I'm like, they look the same. They're both just off-white. They look the same. And she was just shocked that I didn't see the difference. And I'm like, well, I guess this is a little darker, but I don't care. They look the same to me. Either one, pick. my My position in all this is yes. What do you think? I agree. That's kind of my position. Let's see. ATX says I can't imagine a card getting damaged in semis and not in a top loader. Let's see. There's Paul Carl's link. Dollar Box says Green Bay KI Center September 17th. I probably will not be at that show. I'm not setting up. I did tell Matt that I was skipping that show, but I've got a run of shows. August 27th, Madison, September 4th, Janesville, September 10th, Rockford. So that's 3 in a row. And then September 24th, that would be 6 in a row, which is a little too much. So I'm already doing 5 out of 6 weekends of card shows. So September 17th, I'm skipping that one. Low Rollers in the house. You're a little late this morning. You haven't listed new card the last 2 days in your store. Did you take a vacation? I did not list any cards yesterday. I listed 500 on Tuesday. So where are you at, man? I listed about 500 cards on Tuesday. Cooter says between Beaver Dam, Semi-Rigid, and Below Me, this is the most profane episode ever. Boyhood Break says, yes, I got the note too. I actually talked to the lady who denied them, and she said she will continue to deny them. The other lady said she thought they were just fine and should be allowed. And that's the thing. It's crazy. So my recommendation is when this happens, just drop them off in the if you have blue boxes outside the post, just drop them off there. Take them to another post office if that is feasible for you, or somewhere else if you have a mailbox and can put them in there. John says they're called low roller top loaders. I like it. Let's see. Dollar Box says semis can get bent. Get bent. That's the damage I've seen, but I agree both top loads and semi-rigid are good ways to ship. Herman says that was the main reason I was driving up to Spartanburg for their show. It was the only way I could find pages and boxes. Dollar Box says, what do you use your top loaders for? I don't buy I don't actively buy top loaders. So the top loaders that I have, I have a whole tub. I use them for if somebody requests them in eBay, I will use them. I will use them on some multi-card shipments sometimes, putting them in bubble mailers. So I have them on hand. I don't actively buy them. I just accumulate them just so I have them on hand. If somebody requests one and I don't send it in a top loader, they don't ding me on feedback for not sending in a top loader. Cooter says you don't need to add all team names to your listings, just the Giants cards, and then confuse them when I start adding football cards. All my tops in 90s are yellow around in boxes. Don't think it's smoke, more like a toned coin. Yeah, it could be. It could be like with baseballs. Baseballs get that yellow tone to them. Dak T-Mac. Cardboard Gold makes Card Saver 1s and 2s. My experience with Cardboard Gold top loaders and penny sleeves they are way better than Ultra Pro or BCW. I like them because they're cheaper. I think they all look the same, kind of like the two colors of siding. Looks the same to me. And I think all penny sleeves and top loaders look the same and do that. That's probably because I'm just looking at it from a functionality standpoint as opposed to which one is a clearer plastic. Low Roller says they are getting rid of the blue box in the post office now. Let's see. I don't know if there's any. I have not heard that. Yeah, just extremely frustrating when you're sending 40 to 50 per day. Agreed. It is annoying. You can sell top loader 50 cents each in your eBay store if they buy a card from your store. I don't know if anybody's going to pay 50 cents for a top loader. Cardboard Gold, also way cheaper than everyone else. BCW fit better for thicker cards, but I won't pay the price. Got to use a team bag anyways. Absolutely. So here we are, an hour and 5 minutes in, 40 viewers. Awesome. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Appreciate the chat. Awesome chat today. Subscribe to the channel. Had a couple new chatters in here this morning. That's awesome. So shout out. Thank you for stopping in. I will be live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. Saturday morning, I probably will not go live on Saturday because I will. I'm going to be checking. I'll be jumping on the first Metro train out of Harvard, Illinois, on Saturday morning. So I'll be on the road pretty early Saturday. So I'll probably not do a show Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. But I will go live at some point during the day on Sunday from the rooftop during Club 400 Palooza on the rooftop outside of Wrigley Field. So I'll be at Wrigley for Saturday's game, Sunday's game, and then back home on Monday. So have a fun recap on Tuesday morning of the Wrigley weekend. Let's see. Dollarbox says, I do use semi-rigid when I sell more than one card. I ship up to 12 cards using standard envelope. Low Roller wants to know about the Goodwill pallets. I will the next time one comes up. It's still going to be a few more weeks, I would imagine. Seems like they're about 6 weeks apart now. Brian says, banging show today. Always is, though, even if it's about Doritos. Have a great day. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Low Roller wants to know about my sale. I sold 200,000 cards for $500. Great deal for both the buyer and the seller. I was happy to get rid of 200,000 cards. I was happy to get $500. It was even a nice drive. And I'm sure the buyer was happy to get 200,000 cards and only pay $500. Win-win. Baseball Card Illustrated says, no Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. There's no reason to live. Where's my kayak? My apologies. But I'll make up for it, and you'll get to see me next Saturday, August 27th, at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive for the Madison Card Show. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great day. We'll chat again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central for Hobby Evolution. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.